Hi folks, welcome to my Bit Retro Journal. This is Thanksgiving weekend in the US, and this is basically when it's sort of a month before Christmas holiday where we get together, eat food, watch some sports, maybe talk politics, or avoid family members. It's the usual holiday stuff. And I'm taking a break and playing with my QL. I'm actually playing Asterix in the QL. I just wanted to show you what that was like. So, oops. It's Obelix. So the aim of the game is to for Obelix to find his pal Asterix, and he's got to get through the fort to beat up all the Romans. So there he goes. He's trolling along, and he's got his rock, or I guess you call it minier, that he can move to do. That doesn't hurt the Romans, but it allows him to navigate. And this is an Asterix game. Now, I'm a big fan of Asterix. I actually have a Sega version of this. Well, this is not the same game. This is Asterix and the Great Rescue. That I had for a long time, and I grew up on Asterix and Obelix. Actually, I just bought another one that I can't wait till it comes in from AliExpress. That's a different, not the Great Rescue, but a different one. And so I'll do a video on that when it comes in. Got an Asterix game for the QL, so that's kind of cool, right? But there's a bit more to the story than just you might be asking, well, where can I get this? Who made it, etc. So I wanted to go into that a little bit more in detail, to show you more information about that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to do this on my PC. I got QL running. This is just normal QL. I like this more than QL 2K. It's a bit more stable. It doesn't have any audio though, but audio is not really important for this. So let me go. I always like to work in F2 mode for whatever reason. So so I have Asterix on drive 3 here, and this will run a little faster. Although the game's really designed for bare bones QL, but if I run the boot program, and this is my own boot variety that will actually load Toolkit 2, because on my machine I have ICE and not that ROM installed. This emulator actually has Toolkit 2 installed, but it'll just install it twice. It's not a big deal. I've got plenty of memory. So MDV3 is the device. And starts it up. And again, I'm actually running QStar 2. So you might have recognized the Asterix game. It's actually a version of QStar, or QStar 1 or QStar 2. It doesn't actually matter. I think this is actually I've been playing with this. I think this is actually QStar 1, but I was playing with the splash screen on this. But if you select it, it's QStar 1. So this is all confusing. If you saw my video about Unix programming on the QL, I was playing around with combining QStar 1 and QStar 2. And this is actually what got me into the Asterix thing as well. So but you can see already we have Asterix and his minier right there. And if I do that, there's the game. And again, it's a little fast to be fun here, but you can see that it actually works. So what's going on here? Well, what I did is I actually replaced the iconography or the icons in this game with my own. Just as last year, if you saw, I created my own Christmas card, and learned about icons. So this year I wanted to learn more about it. And Andrew, who created QStar, has been very open about how he's done this work, and I've learned from him how to create my own icons. And so I wanted to sort of go over this process with you in basically replacing all the icons of a game. You can almost create a new game, right? So this is sort of if you remember, in QStar, you have these sort of red blobs, which are stones or whatnot. Then you have the diamonds, which I have now as Roman soldiers, and you have the hero and a box. And so I replaced that with the Obelix's minier. I think that's how you pronounce it. And then obviously the Romans are the diamonds. And it works quite well. And this is, I was just showing on my actual QL, I was showing I think it's level 6, is really cool. Yeah, like he has to go through literally a legion of Romans, and the game itself still works out. You have to just clear everything out. But notice that on my game I had Asterix up here, and here I've got QStar. So let me show you. I'll go over how the icons do, but I'll show you this one first, and just how to even to do the imaging. I did this before with because it's photon, but I'll show it to you again. All right. So let's close this up for now, and I'll go open up the this guy right here is kind of where I have all my icons, and so we'll cover these because this is where I created the game. But first of all, I've been creating this. So if I edit this and do a bigger view, so this is actual real view size, but if I increase it by 400%, you can see that I got the Asterix thing. And so I wrote this, created this font and kind of made it fit in. And so what I need to do next is I need to turn it into a JPG because the Photon program on the QL wants a JPEG. And the way to do that is I actually open this up in PaintNet and then save it in PaintNet as a JPEG. And the nice thing about PaintNet is it allows you to set the quality at 100% and the Chrome subsampling at 100%. And then when you do that, I'm not going to save it again, and you open it up, edit this one, you'll see that there's no dithering at all. It's literally exactly, so it doesn't do much compression, but you get exactly what you want. And that's important if you want to, do icons on the. Actually, I don't know if the word iconography is actually the proper word here. So, making words up to sound intelligent. All right. So then, what I need to do is go to. So this is a QL directory for Paint, and I'm going to copy this in here. I need to change the name from Windows formatting, which uses a period, to the QL formatting, which is an underbar. I always find that kind of unique. I already have a command shell open because I need to use the QL tool and insert it. So QL exe will insert it into the database. That's sort of a pain using QL. And so now that it's in there, I can, I'm going to try to keep these windows closed as much as possible. I'm going to, again, so just so you don't lose track, I'm going to open up QL, and I think I already have Photon and Asterix all there. So I'm going to open it up and make sure this is up here. I'm going to F2. Again, I like to use TV mode. Maybe that's how I used the QL back in the day because I only had a TV. So if we look at their MDV2, it has Photon in it. And if I look at Winchester 1, it has at the very end the title Asterix JPG. And I'm going to delete the, I've already done this obviously, so Win1 title Asterix that, there Win1. So we're going to start from scratch. And so I'm going to execute, so dir MDV2 is what Photon's on. I'm going to execute MDV2 Photon. It takes parameters. It wants the file name, title, Asterix JPG. I want it raw, mode 8, and no dithering. And it's going to basically create the thing in the middle of the screen. So it requires a little bit of math. So basically, there's 128 bytes and 256 row of that. And so to figure out where, this picture starts, well, this is 27 rows of pixels. So what you want is you want to divide 256 by 2. And this is a really cool thing in the QL. It's really nice to play with images. And then subtract half of 27, round up, so it's minus 14. And then there's 128 bytes per row, so times 128. And that is how many bytes I need to add to the top of memory, which is 131072. And so 14566. So remember that number? I'm not to remember that number. I'm going to use it. So you hit any key, you get out of the wait mode. that Photon does, and then you can say save bytes, win1 title Asterix dat, and you give it the address 145664, and then you want to know you have 27 lines of 128 bytes, so it's 27 times 128, and that was the number I had on the screen, 3456. It's kind of an odd number or interesting number, and so that will literally save it to the to Winchester 1. So dir win1. You'll see now that that file was created right there. And so now I can load it to the screen, lbytes, win1 title Asterix dat, comma 131072, and you'll see that that's the thing I had in the middle of the screen. So it takes a little bit of math, kind of cool, but you can definitely do some cool stuff with images. So then what I need to do is MDV3 has my Asterix game, and I just need to replace that title thing. So I'm just going to copy win1 title Asterix dat to MDV3 title dat, replace it, lrun MDV3 boot again, and the MDV3 is going to reload toolkit 2. It's just overriding. It's having multiple copies in it, but again, I'm being a little inefficient. If I do this now, you'll see that Asterix has appeared up here. And again, now it's Asterix. So that's how I did the title screen. How did I do the icons? Interestingly enough, I'm going to close this, close that. I'm going to go to my Asterix screen. Where is it? Yeah, so this is what Andrew released to the public. He basically released his map and how many pixels each thing is. This is actually not how it's stored in memory, but it tells you how each pixel is. And so I was like, oh, I can use that, and I created my own map. And the map that I ended up creating was yeah. So this kind of shows you. So I kind of kept his to the side, and then I created my own icons. And this was just for drawing purposes. This is not how it's stored in memory, but you can see that, and I got large icons of some of the, the characters. And in fact, this is Obelix walking forward and backward. And where did I get these from? If you look under, I think it's under source, you can see that I have, I got some from Sega. This is actually where I got the Roman, Legionnaire from, or the Roman soldier. This is from Asterix and the Great Rescue. I also grabbed one from this game, which is Asterix and the Secret Mission, and that's where I got Obelix walking sideways. This one right here, I think, and then the other one, I didn't see a front or back view. This one's where I got Obelix. I got him walking away, and I couldn't find one face on. I just found these weird ones. So what I did is I copied this again and did a face-on version of it. So just put his head on this and kind of jiggered it, because it didn't have to be exact. And you'll see in the in this that this is him walking away, and I had to just do all the recoloring, of course, into the various colors, yellow, green, whatever the QL has. It only has 8 colors, and then this was the head that I put in. And this is the same body moving away. And I had to just kind of work at it a little bit. So I got that. Again, this was the Roman soldier, and I had to change their colors to figure out what are the colors that I had. And in fact, it's not even, like this green color doesn't even exist on the QL. So there's some colors that are actually illegitimate. But that's fine. I just want to get a general, and I think you also saw under source, I found a stone, and it had some writing on it, so I just cut half of it on the bottom, and I just mirrored it. So the top is unique, but the bottom is just a mirrored image of it. And again, it didn't have to be precise. So in any case, you can see that then this is the, in the pixels, the miniature, the Roman came out pretty good. I have a smaller version of them down here. So you can see here, I finally colored in all the proper colors, and then basically what it is, I shrunk them, and then I tried to fix them up. And so, it looks pretty good on the screen. This is Obelix walking away with I decided to have his hands folded behind him instead of to the side of him. and this is him walking towards you. You'll also see that, and this is him sideways, and I just flip around the other way. And you'll see I did an animation. Like, for instance, here, his hair kind of wiggles. And here, his belly kind of jiggles because it goes up, down, up. And so it's kind of a wiggle when he's walking. And then here, he's walking, and the steps I tried to make walk as well. Because Andrew did a really nice job with the animations here. But this came out pretty well. The best ones are when Obelix is walking away and towards you, I think. It looks really good. And it looks really good on the original one. And again, if you pay attention, and you can see his feet together, left one back, together, right one back. So I was trying to make this do the steps. But again, the little hair wiggle was kind of neat. So I put that in there. Yep. And so what did it have to do? Well, the format of it is, well, it's not even this. So then I put it in this format. But this is not the format it's in, actually. It would be nice if it were in this format. So this is the entire screen, 256 by 512. But that's not the format, because the way the format appears on the QL is that each of these lines, and there's like, if you look at his original, he says that it has, they're all 18 lines, but some of them have more rows. That's what the 20 and the 16 means. So some of them are narrower, some of them are fatter, but they're all 18 lines deep. That's the important part. And so I have to take each of these 18 lines and recreate the image to where I stretch them out across the screen. So this one becomes, just a long row of yellow and black dots. And then the Roman is the next one up. Because the way he does sprites is he grabs the sprite in pixels of, whatever that was, 18. So he grabs 18, the next 18, the next 18, and he puts them together into a sprite. So unfortunately, this is not what the sprite looks like in memory. It looks like a random mess. I mean, you can kind of see what's going on, but it looks a random mess. So how did I do that? Well, I would take this image. And by the way, if I do the image fully at 256 by 512 and have this be black, then I don't have to worry about the centering. This will actually Photon will do this entire image for the full screen. So this will be at the top, which is important for my program. And then I wrote a couple of programs, of course. So we have, I forget which one of these is which. Let me see this. This is the one, and then I have this one. So one goes in one direction, one goes, yeah. So this one is the one that does it. So you can see that I wrote a bunch of routines where I took these images and his key, basically, this key, and it basically says he had 3 sprites that are this, he had 16 that are in the 20s, and then he had 10 that are in the 16s, and you can see 3, 16, 10, I had 16. 3, 16, and 8, 16, 20 rows, 8, again, all 18 columns. And then the final one, there were 2 that were kind of weird, where you had, he had 2 at 16 times 30, but the 30 was really, I divided these up into 2 half icons. So there were 2 at 16 times 15. Because it worked better. And so all this does is it goes through and it just basically starts at the address part, which is loads it in, and then there's my memory. Right. So basically I write it to a file. Right. So I set aside some memory. I'm writing this into memory, which is exactly how this thing gets loaded into the file. But yeah, so I'm basically just unwinding this line by line to build the sprite icons, right? And that's what this program does. And if I go to back to QL, I can show you what this looks like. I got 2 of them open now, I guess. Yeah, so this is let me quit that one. So this, if I quit this one, and if I go on MDV3 and I say lbytes MDV3 sprites dat comma 131072. This is what it looks like. You can see it's completely. So this is what I was talking about. This is the Roman wall, and then this becomes the first person, etc. And you can see it kind of gets sort of stretched out. You can be like, oh, I can kind of see the characters a little bit, but that's what it. And that's how his sprite stuff works. It just grabs boom, 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 and then builds the first icon, and then boom, boom. So it's very efficient, right? He doesn't have to do any offsets. But my program here, I had to worry about all the offsets to get it to work. So this is a way I can use this as my base, and then just whatever I put in here, I run this program. As long as it's this format, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And you see this guy right here, it's actually cut in half. And I did have to deal with this there's a boundary condition I had to worry about. But I got it to work. And so if I keep the dimensions, I can change whatever I want in here and then build this, and this will build the sprites file. And then all I have to do is, I just have to replace, you can see sprites.orig with sprites.dat with my sprites.dat. And that's it. And of course, I started working on the title one as well. I still need to work on the init.dat, because that's the picture that's like lbytes, MDV3. I think that's the splash screen. 131072. Yeah. But am I going to create this game? I like mode 8 for this video. Am I going to create this game then? I'm not. What I am going to do is I'll probably, because first of all, it's Andrew's game, not mine. I don't want to, distribute someone else's game. But what I can do is create a zip file that has all the different DAT files in it with instructions to replace in Andrew's game mine, and then it should work, right? So if I have the init.dat, I have the, so there's the, I need the sprites. I don't know which one is the, so the only one I can't change is the one, because he writes the text. So there's the, I don't know what the level stat is, lbytes. Some of these aren't screen files, MDV3 levels that, comma, 131072. Yeah, that's just garbage. And he has, but, sprites, title, and init.dat, that'll give me a different initialization screen. If you remember, I did a video on Artis, and I actually drew a picture of Obelix and Asterix. So I'll show the picture. And I might use that as a splash screen, right? Have it. And so what I would do to distribute my versions, I would literally just package up sprites.dat, titles.dat, and init.dat, and say, hey, do you want an Asterix Obelix version for the QL? Just download QStar 1, replace these 3 files, and you got your own game. So that's kind of the plan. But yeah, I learned a lot, and I'm planning on working on my Christmas game, my Christmas card this year. I haven't done as much work on it yet. Do I have the old Christmas card? Let's end with, if I can find the old Christmas card. Let's see if I can find it. What I'd have to do is, I think it's called Grinch. Let's just assume it's called Grinch. Oh, I hate to have so many things open. It's going to make this video really hard. I apologize. But let's see if indeed it's Grinch. I'll put it under here. Open it up. If my naming works out, I should have it. Cross your fingers. And this is kind of what started this all last year. I really got into, I always wanted to do graphics and sprites, and I just didn't know how to do it. And man, Andrew was brilliant at what he did. And so, oh yeah, there it is. So if I go Lrun MDV4, I think it's going to ask for what device. I think I think it's going to say which device. Yeah, MDV4. Load toolkit. Yes. But here it is. This was my Christmas card from last year, and this uses exactly the same icon stuff. And that's kind of where I learned how to do it, and I had so much fun with it. Some of this is just basic setting blocks, but most of this is icons. So yeah, stay tuned for having a different Christmas card for 2025 if I have the time. But I just wanted to share with you the. Let me go back to my desktop. But yeah, I just wanted to show you this cool version of Andrew's game running on the QL, because again, I always wanted to have some Asterix stuff, but yeah, you'll see him waddling forward and backwards. It's kind of cool. In any case, I'll have December is going to start next month, so there'll be lots of cool videos for that. But for now, I got to get back to family, and thanks for joining me, and have a good day. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you soon.